Fresh Powders Big Blue Spaceship, Chapter 9, Unnamed. This chapter is a solo story. It describes Cyrus's experiences living on Titan until it was attacked by the Reapers. Cyrus goes on to explain that the Reapers entered Titan's airspace, attacked Shadora and other Titans. Eventually Shadora gets captured, and Cyrus rushes off to find the Populous Preserver to call for help. To be continued. Fresh Powders Big Blue Spaceship. The final chapter. Chapter 10, Red Alert. After hearing Cyrus's story of how Shadora was captured, the crew decide to set out to find her. But just as everyone rushes to the cockpit, they receive a video message on one of their monitors. The video shows Reaper 35 having captured, muzzled, and chained up Shadora on his ship. He demands that if the crew don't turn themselves in, he will kill her. The crew think of a plan before speeding off to where the Reaper's 4 remaining ships are. Instead of surrendering, the crew have boarded their battleships or are flying on their own steam. They begin to bombard the Reaper's ships from inside and out. Over the course of the battle, the 4 smaller Starsent ships are slowly abducted and brought on board the Reaper's mothership, where Reaper 35 is in command. Reaper 35 readies a firing squad to take out the 4 crewmates, but the squad is taken out by Spanner, who pilots his newly built ship, the SS Dragon. The crewmates pick up their weapons and begin to take on the Reapers individually. In the meantime, Spanner boards the mothership, and he and Lefty begin to unlock Shadora from her restraints. The 4 crewmates make it to Reaper 35's command deck, where they are eventually captured by a laser beam descending from the ceiling, which freezes them in place. The captains see this from their own cockpit and look to each other in agreement. Reaper 35 prepares to shoot Shatterback at point-blank range until a mysterious 3rd captain strikes him, sending them flying against the wall. The freed crewmates and the 3rd captain reassume the battle until Reaper 2217 appears, holding Spanner by the neck. He threatens to crush him unless they surrender. Shadora senses this from afar and breaks free from her final restraints. She blasts the muzzle off her face by firing a devastating beam of energy from her mouth. The blast vaporizes 2217 on impact, and proceeds to take out the 3 smaller Reaper ships outside, leaving only Reaper 35 and his mothership as the only ones left. The protective air shields surrounding the mothership won't last long, and the ship will detonate in less than a minute. The 3rd captain disappears, while the 2 original captains appear in its place and step up to Reaper 35. They demand that he stand down and accept defeat. They ask him for any last words, to which Reaper 35 responds with, "Emergency. Temporal. Shift." Malcolm quickly tries to stop him, but he is too late. Reaper 35 suddenly teleports away to somewhere unknown. With seconds to spare, Malcolm and Twilight teleport everyone and their ships back to the Preserver and speed away, moments before the Reaper's mothership explodes. Although frustrated that they couldn't catch Reaper 35, the crew celebrates their victory with the Nowhere Companions. Soon the 6 Nowhere Companions are ready to head back to Nowhere to tell Fresh the good news. The captains thank the Companions for all their help in bringing the crew back together. They also state that they shall begin scouting the cosmos to see if they can eventually track down Reaper 35. Malcolm teleports him and the 5 companions back to Nowhere. Arriving back in Nowhere, Squidward, Twilight, Malcolm, and Lefty are reunited with their friends. Fresh steps forward and asks about their mission. Lefty highlights all the bad parts, and although horrified, Fresh assumes they did a good job. Fresh then goes on to thank Malcolm and Cyberman 38 for their bravery. Impressed with 38, Fresh upgrades him to look like a modern Cyberman, turning Cyberman 38 into the new Cyber Leader. Iron Can reunites with the other bootleg Avengers, who are still watching the screen that keeps an eye on the Bunyip's progress. Ironcan states that the mission is over and wonders if they won the war yet, only to discover that the Bunyip is still in space and still hasn't found Snakestaff magic or his forces yet. Ironcan becomes furious and wonders how so little can happen here when they did so much in space. He sighs and continues to watch the Bunyip's progress on the screen, waiting for the moment when the battle of Fresh versus Snakestaff can begin again. To be concluded in Fresh vs. Snakestaff, Chapter 10.